Guys, it's your boy Joe back at it again, man. CodingPhase.com. Today we got something special. Okay, today we're going to create a personal V card. Your boy Joe back at it again, man. CodingPhase.com. Your boy is back, and I done did it again. So today we got an email by Tiffany Robb, straight from England, London town, you dig? I don't know if she's exactly in London, but I'm pretty sure she's from the UK. But yeah, so pretty much she says, "Dear Joe, hoping you are well. I have just passed the halfway stage of your web development timeline, and I would like to know to add the restaurant app to my portfolio website, as well as add all of my projects onto GitHub. I have watched numerous tutorials about pushing, pulling, and committing files on GitHub, but I'm a little confused as how to view the raw code in the browser. I know that GitHub Pages is an available resource, but I don't want to use a template as I have created my own during the project process. Also, could you shed some light on how other users, recruiters, collaborators see the front end / UI of the raw code in GitHub? I'm baffled. Confused.com. Many thanks for your help, and thank you for being a fantastic online mentor. All the best, Tiffany, aka the Jones. Jones, you dig? All right, guys, listen. Let's talk a little bit about GitHub, right? We're gonna take, for example, this guy who I follow on Instagram, and I also follow him on GitHub. Yeah. So pretty much what he does is he creates like cool little projects in JavaScript. He also does stuff for the UI of the MacBook Pro. You know, the touch bar, touch screen, whatever. He also does like he has his own Atom browser, which is super cool because it's like you have a browser inside of Atom, which really works. So he has a legit set of projects that he has created. Now, one thing that you can see here is he's like super duper like active on GitHub, right? Now, I'm gonna take a look at his projects and explain it a little bit. So when you have a project on your computer, you could keep track of, the history of your project, and even like, let's say an example, you created something on your project and then you made a mistake later on, right? You could revert back to what you did the day before if you committed your changes that day. Okay, so it's like a way to keep track of your whole project. Okay, now this is what GitHub basically is used for, for everybody. Now, at the same time, people could come in and, like, let's say you could upload your portfolio, upload any type of project that you're working on, and then at the same time you can pin them here and say, hey, these are my 6 top or my 6 favorite projects that I've worked on or that I'm currently working on. So then now when a employer or another developer wants to check out like what the hell this guy's working on, they could literally come here and say, okay, these are the projects that he's mostly active on and the ones that he cares the most to show for. Okay, so let's say we come here, we're clicking here. As you can see, you got the name of the user, the name of the project, okay, a little message like, hey, work personal site for projects and notes. So pretty much this is his website. This is his website being hosted by GitHub Pages, I'm pretty sure. Yes. So it's on GitHub Pages. And as you can see, it's just like a pretty simple portfolio. But at the same time, it's pretty legit because he got like a lot of cool things in here that, people could come in and use for their own code. Okay. Now, one thing that I will tell you is never use GitHub as a place to put in your private files. If you want to put in private files, you go to here, bitbucket.com. Bitbucket lets you put in files that you don't want nobody else to know about, or files like, let's say you're working in your company, most likely your company is going to have a Bitbucket. Okay, they're going to have it set up for you, and all you have to do is pull and push into that repo. Okay, now let's go back into this. So This is Sean Coates' website, so he also has it here. So now anybody that's coming here and says, okay, here's his portfolio, okay, here's his portfolio, I want to know how he did it, okay, you could come here and say, okay, I'm gonna go into his SaaS, so you can see all his styles, you can see the way how he puts in comments, the way how he codes, you know, see how he does his media queries. If everything is good and you like it, and you're like, okay, this person, he has nice documentation, his code is clean, he's using SaaS, somebody can come in and be like, okay, we like this developer, right? You could also say, hey, if they want to check out your other projects and be like, okay, CS engine, you know, he has like his own game engine that he created to create games, and somebody might be like, oh, cool, this guy, he's very knowledgeable in JavaScript to be able to create this. Okay, now this is where it's very important to have a portfolio. Okay, guys, this is why it's important, because as a developer, I'm gonna come to his projects on GitHub and look at it and be like, oh, okay, he used this technology, maybe look at his package.json, see what he's using, and be like, okay, cool, it's a nice little setup. But to be honest with you guys, do I have time to install his project and basically be like, okay, cool, let me run through his whole project or his whole game? I'm not going to do that, right? Recruiter is definitely not going to do that, right? So that's why you need to have a portfolio with all the projects that you have pinned up, okay? So you want to have, like, for you guys especially, because you guys are brand new and you're getting into the game and you're trying to find your first job, what you need to have here is not like little BS little projects, like, not to, you know, shit on Sean Coates. I love his stuff, but for you guys, if you was to have this on your projects, this doesn't make sense for you guys to have it, right? Because what you want to show is real websites, real things that people could say, okay, this person has worked with this client, this person has worked with this other client, this person worked with this other company. You want to have all your major websites that you've built here, okay? Now, why will you have it there? Because if a developer decides to say, okay, this person worked on, let's say, bubblegum.com, right? You could have that bubblegum.com, the source code in here, and then you could actually share it with that developer, right? But at the same time, like I said, you need the portfolio, because a recruiter, the person who's going to see you before you even get to the company, is not a technical person. That person's gonna be like, oh, okay, he got a GitHub, check, that's it. But he's not even gonna go in here, he's not gonna look at your code. This means nothing to him. What means something for him is having a website, something that you come in here and be like, oh, he be like, oh, cool, so there's his website. He lands here and be like, oh, cool, Jane Johnson has her website. And the first thing they're gonna do is they're gonna be like, oh, let me check, is it responsive? Because they don't understand anything. They understand the very basics. So they're gonna be like, oh, is it responsive? Okay, cool, it's responsive. So right there, you got a big check. All right, they'll be like, okay, it's responsive. And they'll be like, oh, let's check maybe his resume. What's his education or any type of work experience or what he has done? They'll be like, oh, okay, cool, that's nice. But the most important thing, your highlight, is your portfolio. When you click in there and they'll be like, oh, okay, cool, this looks nice, there's a nice animation. So to them, is you're a professional. You're not some kid just showing up and like, hi guys, with a sign like, please hire me. No, you're a pro. You're like, okay, I've worked on many websites, I have a lot of skills, here are the things that I can show for. And then when you click in there, it takes you to the live website, right? Don't do this where, like, let's say for example, you have your portfolio, right? And then you click on an image and it doesn't take you to a live website. You need to have that live website either on your own hosting or connected to, let's say, bubblegum.com. If this website that I'm showing here is a bubblegum.com, when I click on it, it needs to take me to bubblegum.com, okay? Or you could have another way of doing this is, like, let's say when you click on the portfolio, it but it shows you a page fully explaining what you did in that project, okay? So like, let's say I work for Nike, right? I can't just be like, hey man, Nike.com, man. I send them to Nike.com, and then have no explanation. What the hell did I do in Nike.com? You want to break it down. You want to be like, okay, Nike.com, and then have a full page explaining all the things that you did on that project. Okay, you could be like, okay, we launched the last Yeezys, and we had LeBron on this, and then you explain right here, I did the menu, I did this and that, I was part of a team doing this and that, I set up the Git, I set up this, you know. So you basically, you create a story around your project. Okay, so you could do it like that, or you can do it in a way where you can say, hey, I worked on this page, and then when they click here, it links them directly to that page itself. Okay, now if it's like I just said, if it's like something that you worked in part of a team and it's a huge project, when you click in there, what you want to do is take them to a page inside of your website that you explain all of the things that you did on that project. Okay, right now currently we're looking at the portfolio course that I created, and to be honest with you guys, this is like a freestyle course. That's why it's free, right? I'm calling them like freestyle courses. There's courses that I'm gonna create. What's his name? Tyler. So Tyler Fleming, I think Tyler Fleming or Tyler. He told me, yo, you're supposed to be saving this content for your paying subscribers, and he's right. There's a lot of stuff that took me here forever. Like this whole website might be simple to some of you guys, and you might be like, oh man, I could do this right away. But to do everything how it was in the design and make it responsive, it takes time. Okay, and there's a lot of details in here. There's animations, there's a whole bunch of stuff that we did to this website to make it look nice, right? So there's a few hours into this. So Tyler's completely right. Tyler's like, yo, this should have been just for your paying subscribers because it's really good. But at the same time, this is something that all of you guys need to see. All of you guys need to be building your own portfolio, right? This is what I call like a freestyle portfolio, where I just came in, I said, okay, I contacted the designer. Designer said, hey, go ahead, build it. We built it for you guys, and I just freestyled it, right? It wasn't something that we planned it. It wasn't that I built before it, or like, let's say a lot of instructors come in and they build the projects themselves before it, and they have everything in one screen that's already complete, and everything in the other screen is the one that you get to see as he's copying it from one side of the screen to the other. That's not what I did on this project. This project straight freestyle is just like me. When I bump into roads, when I bump into a dead end, you see me going into the dead end, finding the solution, finding the way to build this website. Sometimes I forget certain syntax. That's why it's there, right? It's free for a reason, right? But at the same time, it's more of like a guide of following how to build a portfolio, and at the same time, seeing how, you know, when you bump into that dead end and you don't know what to do, you just don't stop and be like, okay, I'm just gonna leave this alone. No, you continue, because even though it might take you 3 more minutes to figure it out, and how to find the right positioning and right what technique from CSS you should use for, you know, different situations. Like, those are the things that you're gonna learn from this. And I decided, you know what, this needs to be free, because it's mostly a freestyle. Like, I really just came in freestyle this whole thing. All right, there was no I didn't prepare for it. I didn't come in and did anything else besides just me looking at design and building it with you guys. It's like 1-to-1. It's as if me and you were there in the same room. That's how I decided to do it. It wasn't pre-planned. It wasn't editing the errors out. It wasn't okay, we're gonna cut out the mistakes. No, this is pretty much just me and you sitting down building this portfolio. Okay, now all of you guys can definitely use this portfolio and just give credit to the designer and give credit to me just for helping you out. Right now, it's up to you. I don't even care about credit. You decide if you want to give me credit. You could put in yourself and whatever, because in reality, you built it, right? You just helping me out at the same time. We're both building it together. That's how I did this whole tutorial, this whole course. Okay, now going back to what Tiffany was saying here, it's like, how is it that collaborators work on GitHub and everything? Well, pretty much it's like, okay, you have GitHub, right? So let's say an example. I created this GitHub repo, right? I can give access to somebody else to download the whole project, right? And then they could push their changes into that project too. So pretty much, like, I could be doing the front end, you could be doing the back end, right? While I'm doing the back end, while I'm doing the front end and you're doing the back end, we communicate with each other through Skype or emails and say, hey, I just finished building the whole front page. And then you tell the back end developer, like, hey, could you build a REST API for the projects on the portfolio? And then the back end person comes in, creates the REST API where you can communicate with it through either Ajax or something like React, Angular, whatever you decide to use, or just vanilla JavaScript. So it's like a way to collaborate. You can have as many people as you want. When you look at a project like, let's say, React, which has, I'm gonna tell you right now how many contributors. It should be, okay, 1,160 people are working on this project. Okay, so whenever they see something on the issues, they'll be like, okay, somebody left the issue here and says, oh, this thing doesn't work on Windows XP, right? It doesn't work on Windows XP for whatever reason. They go in, they figure it out, they try it out with Windows XP, and they basically, they fix the changes, push it up to the website, and then now somebody who is responsible for the project checks their branch and says, okay, this branch works and this branch did not break anything on the code, right? So if it didn't break anything on the code, what they do from there is they merge it from that branch to the main branch, which is the master branch. And that's it. That's like the simplest way to explain how people collaborate with Git and GitHub. Like, it's nothing crazy. I haven't really created a course on GitHub, or haven't really explained it that well here on either on my website or on YouTube, because there's so many people that have already done GitHub. You know what I mean? It's like GitHub and Git itself is like, you do one search online, like Git tutorial, and you're gonna see, like, that's like, hey, how do you search on Google? You get what I'm saying? Like, it's that easy. Like, everybody has done it. You know what I mean? So, excuse me. Yeah, man. So, like I said, check out the website. Check out the new course that we released on our site, CodingPhase.com. And like I said, this thing is free. You're getting a whole bunch of content that's free. You're creating a great looking website. You get to see when to use CSS grids, when not to use it, when to use flex boxes. Like, we use all of them in this project, right? But at the same time, it's like you get to figure out when to use it and when not to use it. Now, of course, if you want to be just like one of these hackers, like if you just want to be a hacker and be like, hey, I want to use everything on the site CSS grid, go ahead. That's on you. If you want to be one of those people that's like, hey, just because it came out yesterday and now it's hot, we just got to build every single thing on CSS grid, go ahead. Everybody has their own way of coding. I teach it the way how I teach it because it's the easiest way for a beginner to understand it. Those of you guys that are more advanced than others, please don't complain. Please don't complain. It's really annoying. It's like people hit me up. It's like, why do you use this on this, and this? And it's like, bro, you are more advanced than somebody who's just starting. These are the people that are beginners, the people that don't know anything. So I have to make them in a way that it's going to be easier for them to understand. If I come in and start explaining CSS grids and flex boxes from scratch, people's going to be like, wait, what? Like, for us that we've been here for a while, this is easy. For a beginner, the way how to do certain things is like, wait, what? You adding all of this extra knowledge, all of this extra information to my brain is about to explode. That's how people work. So I don't like to give people an overflow of things when it's like such a beginner project, because I want to make sure that, number one, they don't think like, oh, this is over my head, I can't do it. And number two, I don't want them to give up. You know what I mean? So I have to take care of those people that are just beginners. Okay. So yeah, man. And like I said, everything here, you could figure it out your own way. If you say, hey man, I got better ways to do it, go ahead, do it. Right? So yeah, I love you guys, man. And I'm out of here. I'm out, kids. All right. So yeah, to Tiffany, man, like I said, this was a really good question. Like, how does it really work with GitHub, and like how do recruiters get to figure out which projects are good? You know, just to go over it again, if you go to like Sean Codes, right, you got his GitHub, you got all his main projects. These are the projects that he wants to show for. Now, mind you, this guy's not a beginner. This guy has like, you know, cool JavaScript projects, and that's why he has it on his GitHub. It's not his projects that he's showing up when he's looking for a job. He already has a job. He works for a pretty big company in Chicago, so he's good. He's chilling. You know what I mean? But for you guys are on a whole different level. You guys are beginners. You guys are getting into the industry. So all of your projects here that you pin should be like major projects that you already have on your portfolio, which is your website. Like I said, if you don't have you know, websites here on your portfolio, and I start seeing like, oh, this, you know, a little quick algorithm to sort out some phone numbers, or like, here's some validation, form validation. Like, guys, people don't care about that. The recruiter don't give a damn about that. I'm being honest with you guys. The recruiter don't care about that. The recruiter don't get excited about that, because what they need to see is that you already building real websites and real projects that they could say, okay, hey, this guy, he needs to get hired, and we believe in him. So when they go to that company, they tell him that. They're like, okay, this guy that we saw their portfolio, he's legit. They'll even lie for you. Like, I've seen it done. Recruiters lie for you know, developers. I've seen guys who are junior developers somehow end up in like $80,000 jobs or $90,000 jobs. I've heard stories of people in like San Francisco getting like $110,000 job on their first job, right? Just because they had those right projects on their portfolio, and pretty much the recruiter came in and just, you know, repackaged it, you know, put a little big stamp on their back and say, hey man, this guy is ready, hire him. Sometimes the recruiter will basically give you such a big clout that in reality it doesn't matter how long you've been working in the industry. Okay, so I'll see you guys later. It's your boy Joe, back at it again. CodingPhase.com. Send me questions, guys. And I'm sorry for everybody who's using Windows, guys. I've been telling you for a long time. You know, people keep telling me like, hey man, I'm having so much trouble with Windows. I can't even get this stuff running. Guys, I've been telling you guys from the beginning. This is not nothing new. There's some people that they're very comfortable with their Windows computer. It doesn't matter if they were doing code, they were doing other stuff. They were probably, you know, hacking. They were doing Photoshop. They were doing other stuff like, you know, I don't know, doing command line stuff on their Windows computer. I don't know what you do on Windows, right? But they have an easier route to becoming a web developer because they already understand their computer. They understand how to find the answers to things. But I feel bad for a lot of you guys who are just your average Joe, some regular dude, some regular girl who is like, hey man, I'm gonna get into web development, and yeah, you can learn HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, but the more advanced things, you know, even starting the web developer starter kit, you guys are having so much issues because you can't even install Node.js on Windows, right? And that's because it's not that easy. People who are comfortable with Windows and been around for a long time, they're like, hey, it's super easy. Nah, it's not as easy as a Mac. It's not as easy as a Linux. So let's be honest here. But yeah, man, send me questions. I'll try to help you guys out. Anything that you guys might need, let me know. It's your boy Joe, back at it again. CodingPhase.com. Make sure you subscribe. Check the link below, guys. This is how we survive out here. This is how we get to give you guys all that good quality content. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. CodingPhase.com. Your boy's back. You dig? Pow. Hey guys, this video is brought to you by viewers like you and people that support our website, CodingPhase.com. Go check it out. Over 20 courses in there that's going to guide you to become a developer from the beginning to becoming a pro. Making sure that you get a job, making sure that you come in and you learn all the skills on how to make money on your own as an independent, either a freelancer or if you decide to make passive income. All right, go check us out. Peace.